Welcome to your 12-minute HR lesson. This episode, a nice quick paddle around another sunken volcano, Lake Pupuki. Have a watch.
Welcome to your 12-minute HR podcast. Today we are getting a little bit political. We are not actually getting into the politics, but we are getting politics adjacent. So there is a little bit of a warning. You might end up thinking different thoughts to what I think. Or you might entirely agree with me, or you might entirely agree with Tim Minchin. But that doesn't matter. It's not about what he says. It's about how he says it. And I want you to watch Tim Minchin's Come Home. I want you to listen to it. And take away from it is how calm, hard words sometimes need to be said. Let's go. We were at a friend's house yesterday for his birthday. And the conversation turned to something that it often turns to. What are you watching at the moment? What do you recommend? Because we don't live in a world of 3-4 channels anymore, in a world where either you're watching Coro or you're watching Seinfeld. There's so many options, there's so many platforms, it's almost endless. So we all sort of turn to each other going, what are you watching out of all these options? What do you think it's worth? But I'm not much good in those situations because I kind of moved off onto YouTube 10, 15 years ago. So I know a couple of shows, but I don't have the library of knowledge that I do in YouTube. I've got 1,001 YouTube recommendations, one of which is Epic Rap Battles. The other is Big Fat Quiz. If you haven't found those, I definitely recommend them. But I want to talk to you today about something that gave me chills 9 years ago, and it still gives me chills today. The clip is Come Home, Cardinal Pell by Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin is the most amazing comedian / songwriter. I have a previous video in which I wax lyrically about how amazing he is. For me, it's recorded, but it's not in the published queue. Therefore, you will hear it, but you're going to hear it afterwards. So, that's coming for your future. Tim Minchin's defense. It's amazing. But let me give you the context. The situation was that back in the mid-2010s, there was an Australian cardinal, Cardinal Pell, who was being requested to participate in an investigation of cover-ups by the Catholic Church. And he was in Rome, and he was saying, oh no, I can't come home, I'm not well. So Tim gets on his piano and writes him a beautiful song saying, you need to come home and tell us what you know. And it's a beautiful song. It's very well written. It's a real earworm. It's that good a song. It's that catchy a hook. The catchiness and the light-heartedness belies the brutal truth and the demands that Tim is putting down. The hard honesty of that demand of someone else is, I'm not saying it's wrong. I feel it's completely right. You may feel differently, but that's up to you. But the cold hardness of those words, as written, not how they're sung, are so brutal. There's lots of lines that I could break down, and there's some really provocative lines that you may think I'd focus in on, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to focus on the accusations of cowardness or litigation or cover-ups or any of those more intense things that Tim said. I'm going to zero in on one line, which I find so to the point, which is, we have a right to know what you knew. And let's break it down. There's two key parts. One, the concept of rights. We could spend forever talking about the Enlightenment and the French Revolution and the concept of universal rights. But to keep it really simple, a right is an absolute minimum. A right is the assertion, the acceptance that if someone has a right, that cannot be compromised. That is an absolute assertion that you cannot ask me or expect me to do anything other than this thing to which I am entitled to. It's fundamental to the human condition. It's a right, then I must have it. It's not a privilege, it's not a preference, it's an absolute certainty. I agree with everything Tim was saying. His assertion, we the Australian people have a right. I agree with that. I don't disagree. But it's a strong claim. It's a massive call. Let's talk about the other thing. To know what you knew. Perhaps the most personal thing a human can have is thoughts. What is going inside their head? What is inside within us is ours. It's personal. It's private. What we think and what we know is the absolute most in-depth and sacrosanct thing to us. To assert that you have the right to demand someone empty out their brain and provide that information is such an intense demand. So let's put this into context of a workplace. You're not writing songs to cardinals, but sometimes we have to tackle some pretty difficult situations, and we have to tackle conflict head on. It's in our nature to avoid conflict. It's in our nature to want to preserve harmony. But once in a blue moon, we have to set aside that avoidance to deal with difficult problems. We have to investigate allegations. We have to investigate accusations. We have to tell people that they're redundant. We have to tell people that they didn't get something. We have to say things that people don't like. What I want you to take from Tim Minchin is the song is light and its seriousness and it's accusatory and it's flippant. The music makes the emotions neutral. It balances out. The flippancy of how he's presenting it with the tones of who he throws in, the caricatures that he includes, balance each other out. But the words that he is saying and what he is asking and what he is demanding are extremely direct and extremely intense. This is what I think you need to take away from Come Home, Cardinal Pell. Sometimes we need to say what needs to be said. We don't want to sugarcoat it, nor do we want to load it with emotions. Sometimes we have to say the words that need to be said and let them do the work. Don't put emotions on them. Don't take emotions away. Don't put angry emotions on top. Don't put entitled emotions on top. But don't put conciliatory emotions on top as well. Don't apologize for asking tough questions. Don't apologize for delivering bad news. Don't get angry to justify it. Sometimes we have to say the hard words. If that's what needs to be done, then it needs to be done and we need to do it. So how do I do it? To be honest, you're listening to it right now. You can hear it in all of my podcasts. I don't get angry. I sometimes vaguely try and be funny, but that's not the point. Calm, hard words get through to people's brains really well. The words that you're using are tough words. Tough words delivered calmly, but clearly get through. So what do you need to do? Don't get angry. Don't sugarcoat. Don't be sorry. If you need to say what needs to be said, find the right words, find the direct words, find the words that are hard for you and hard for them, and deliver them calmly, clearly, and concisely. So I've listened to that song. I've listened to Come Home, Cardinal Pell again just after recording, but during the edit, and went, oh yeah, I've talked about the quietly intense, But I haven't really addressed the explicitly intense, the accusations of suing, that you're going to hell, that you're a coward. All of them, I forgot about the very specific and intense accusatory words in that song. You don't have to agree. You might think it goes too far. You might think it doesn't go far enough. But either way, what I'm hoping that you don't hear something or a word in which you go, that guy can't say that, and then stop listening, because you'd miss so much. So hopefully that didn't happen. My apologies if it did. My apologies if you just can't get past the fact that he called him a coward. Part of me is like, do I release this? It's like, no, look, let's put it out there. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. My apologies if you don't. That's on me. I didn't explain it well enough. Otherwise, thank you for listening. Check out our website. Check out our courses. Share us, like us, repost us. We'd appreciate it. Thanks.